Over $100 million exploited in a hack, Michael Saylor buys more Bitcoin, Ethereum becomes deflationary. An eventful past 24 hours in crypto. Hey guys, my name is Sheldon Evans, welcome back. Or if you're new here, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and turn on all of those bell notifications. As you know, YouTube does gatekeep some of this cryptocurrency content here on YouTube, so unless you let them know that you want to see this time-sensitive and important information, you're going to miss out. Right guys, so just as I said, we've had an eventful past 24 hours. Even though March is typically a bearish month for Bitcoin or a bearish month for crypto in general, we've had some crazy news that could lead to a huge rally in the next month. So going back to what I mentioned first, with regards to Ethereum becoming a deflationary asset, I made a tweet a few days ago saying that even though ADA is killing it right now, I'm still bullish on ETH. As an investor, blockchain maximalism makes no sense to me. Why would you cut yourself off to more potential profit? And this is in response to the EIP-1559 proposal that is going to be implemented in July. It has now been passed. This was leading up to that. We had a tease just a few days ago, and it now has been passed, meaning that Ethereum will essentially become a deflationary asset in July, if everything goes according to plan. Now, Ethereum does have a history of missing their deadlines or not hitting them at all, so we'll see how this plays out. But in anticipation of this, we've noticed how many traders and many investors often buy the rumor and sell the news. That is what many people will be doing, and that's why I believe that we'll see a rally or an explosion in Ethereum coming in the next couple weeks or couple months at least as well, because people are going to be buying Ethereum in anticipation for this. We will see the next wave of DeFi, in my opinion. Right now, the one bottleneck or the thing that is crippling Ethereum are the fees. And what will EIP-1559 do? It will improve that and solve that issue, making Ethereum an infinitely scalable asset as well as a deflationary asset as well. The problem with Ethereum right now are the fees are just too high. So what EIP-1559 does essentially is the gas fee will now be sent to the network itself as a sort of burn called the base fee, with only an optional tip paid to the miners. Now, this has been pushed back a few times because miners have been rejecting this proposal because it is lucrative for miners to mine Ethereum because they get these extortionately high fees paid by the network participants and people trying to transact on the Ethereum blockchain. The way it works right now is that you have to try and outbid other people to get into that blockchain. So if I pay a higher fee than you, I'm going to get into the blockchain first and my transaction is going to go through before yours. So what this will do is it will essentially eliminate that, and we all pay the same minimum base fee with an additional tip paid to the miners. Now, this is obviously not the best for the miners. They wouldn't like this, but it is being pushed forward. And if you guys want to follow updates on Ethereum's development and how things are going, I suggest you follow Tim Baker on Twitter. So he is the lead dev at ETH, and you can just follow what happens, how the proposals go. You can follow him live. He often tweets what they're discussing in the meetings and so on. And right now they're in agreement about the 1559 and the difficulty bomb pushback going into London. So we will be having this update coming very soon. I believe this is going to absolutely change the game for Ethereum. Just as I've said, I'm bullish on Ethereum and Cardano. I don't have to be in one boat or the other. Many people are haters on other blockchains. I am not like that at all. I will invest in Cardano, in blockchain, in Polkadot, in Ethereum, in pretty much anything that is going to increase in value. Because as an investor, my main goal is to increase the value of my portfolio. Yes, I do understand and I believe and I love the underlying tech that goes into cryptocurrency. That's why I'm in this industry. What? That's why I'm in this industry. But it also comes down to being an investor, which is why most of you are here. You're all here to make some money, right? So if an opportunity comes up that allows you to make more money, why would you not snatch it up? And that's exactly what I tweeted about just a few days ago, that you should snatch up every opportunity you can in cryptocurrency because it's not going to be like this forever. You won't have these massive mad gains here forever. This is a short period of time before it becomes completely mainstream, and these huge exponential gains are no longer possible. It is like that in any industry. If you're early to that industry, the gains or the potential is much bigger than if you come in late when it is mainstream. So I urge you to snatch every opportunity you can in cryptocurrency right now. We have Michael Saylor buying more Bitcoin. So as you guys know, we've had a bit of a downtrend in Bitcoin over the past few days, or a bit of a sideways movement as well, which I believe will continue through the rest of March as well. But when people start getting scared and they start selling their Bitcoin, when we see these downwards movements, you have to understand that it is all people are trying to do to you. They are trying to get your Bitcoin out of your precious little hands and they're trying to steal it from you. Michael Saylor included. Many of these large institutions, these large corporations that are trying to enter Bitcoin right now don't want to be entering it at $58,000. They want to push the price down and enter as low as they possibly can to maximize their potential return, right? So that is exactly what is happening. When you see these large downturns, they're getting bought up very, very quickly by these institutions. It's likely that other companies like Apple and Amazon and Netflix and so on have already purchased Bitcoin. We just don't know about it yet. It comes down to when it gets released to the public. That information always comes out late. So right now, MicroStrategy has purchased an additional 205 Bitcoin for $10 million in cash at an average price of $48,000 per Bitcoin. So Michael Saylor and MicroStrategy now have tons of Bitcoin. It is actually crazy to think how much they've invested in Bitcoin. Yes, the MicroStrategy stock has decreased in price over the past few weeks, and they're calling this the loss of the Bitcoin effect, which is what happens when a company purchases Bitcoin and their stock price shoots up as well. But that doesn't matter at all. That is just a byproduct of them purchasing Bitcoin. They understand the value of Bitcoin and holding it on their balance sheet. That is why they're buying it. And this is just the beginning before other institutions start coming in and doing the exact same thing, or they've already done it. We just don't know about it yet. There are many things happening behind the scenes that us as average retail investors have no idea about. So I want to just make you aware that things are happening behind the scenes that you might not know about. So when the market starts moving in an unfavorable direction and starts making you a little bit scared, don't worry, things are going to get better. We have a huge year ahead of us. We're in the midst of a bull market. I believe we're just at the very beginning of it. So there's tons of room to grow from here as well. Hold on to your bags and don't get manipulated out of your cryptocurrency. So next up, we also have the Samurai token. Do not purchase this. I just want to make this aware that a few days ago, I obviously made the video about a few more undervalued crypto gems that I liked, and CyberFi was one of them. And I mentioned their CyberFi Samurai staking platform that is going to be launched, as well as their launchpad. Now, CyberFi is a fantastic project. I still believe it's incredibly undervalued. You guys will know that from the previous video if you've watched that already. If you haven't, I do suggest you go and watch it and see why I'm so bullish on CyberFi. They have a great utility and a great need for what they're working on right now. And they mentioned the Samurai launchpad, and people went out and purchased the Samurai token and caused this spike in the price from $6 or $5 to $12. Guys, this is so dumb. Please don't do this. Don't just go and ape into random altcoins that you have no idea what you're purchasing in. This is the perfect example of why you shouldn't just purchase anything without researching it first. You purchase something that is a complete dead token that makes no sense, that has nothing related to the project that I spoke about or that I was talking about. So you guys did something incredibly dumb. Not necessarily you individually, but I mean, there were investors out there that did this. So I'm not calling you out directly, but if you did do this, just be aware that you made a mistake. So go ahead and look at CyberFi and understand why I'm still very bullish on this project and why I really do like it. I will have perhaps an AMA with the CEO in my Patreon if you haven't checked it out yet. So go check out my Patreon. We have some cool stuff coming up with many different project leaders and CEOs and so on. We will be posting exclusive content in the Patreon that won't be available here on YouTube. So I do suggest you go and check that out as well. Then we have the GSPI launch. So Shopping.io, another gem that I spoke about just a few weeks ago, a project that I'm incredibly bullish on. I like projects that are in the e-commerce space. As you guys know, I come from an e-commerce background and a marketing background, so I understand the importance of e-commerce and how it can explode in months or in days. E-commerce is such a huge industry. It's one of the biggest industries in the world, and there's so much money constantly flowing through e-commerce that it makes perfect sense for it to be switched to the blockchain, right? You want to be purchasing things on the blockchain because it's verifiable, transactional, and it's fast. Now with Shopping.io, essentially all it allows you to do is purchase anything from Amazon, Walmart, eBay with cryptocurrency. They've got some massive partnerships coming up very soon. They're partnering with a ton of different cryptocurrencies to offer acceptance of their crypto on the Shopping.io platform, as well as the launch of their new governance token, GSPI, on PancakeSwap. So it's a BSC token. Now, you guys know my thoughts on Binance Chain. I do believe it's just a short-term thing. I believe once Ethereum really starts coming back and Cardano starts coming back, or starts implementing smart contracts and products get built on top of Cardano, we're going to start seeing many of these projects migrate from Binance Smart Chain back to Ethereum and possibly Cardano as well. Binance Smart Chain is somewhat centralized right now. I've spoken about this before as to how their validators work. But with that being said, you can still get the GSPI token or the governance token for shopping.io on PancakeSwap. Now, with the governance token, it allows you a few different things. So for the next 90 days, SPI holders, which is the SPI token, the token that allows you to buy on SPI Club or shopping.io at least, you can purchase on their platform, and depending on how much SPI you own, you get a discount purchasing through shopping.io. Now, you can stake that SPI obviously on SPI.club. You could also stake it on SPI.finance, which is their new staking platform. So SPI.club has a 10% entry and a 10% exit fee for staking, and those fees are then, or those staking penalties are then paid out to additional stakers. Whereas with SPI Finance, you have no entry or exit fees. You can simply stake and you can earn rewards. Now, for the next 90 days, SPI stakers will be earning fees from both GSPI and SPI because GSPI has just been launched. Then after that happens, you will no longer be getting those additional fees. So GSPI is obviously just their governance token. You can go over to GSPI.finance. So they've got a ton of different websites. You can go check them all out, play around with it. You can farm, you can trade, and you can hold the SPI. I believe it's incredibly undervalued. I think it's around a $30 million market cap right now. Easily $100 million, maybe $500 million project. Very, very, very excited about this one. So do go check it out. Check out their Medium as well if you want more information about the GSPI token. Like I said, there's no minimum rewards. They're going to be having a VIP staking pool as well, and major partnerships coming up. They're going to be launching on 2 major exchanges as well. Obviously, this is some information. If you join the Telegram, you'll be able to get all of this ahead of the time as well, so that you're not late to the party. So I do urge you to go check out SPI Finance, GSPI, SPI.club, SPI.finance. There's tons of them. Go check it out. Big things happening in the room for shopping.io. Finally, we have, well, not finally, but we have Paid Network. We are investigating the issue. We pulled liquidity. We are creating a new smart contract, and we're restoring everyone's original balances before the hack. Now, you guys may have noticed if you were holding Paid yesterday that your balance basically went to 0. What had happened was somebody, a hacker, had exploited the Paid Network's contract and minted infinite tokens, or there was an option to mint infinite tokens, and they did that and then sold those tokens on the open market, therefore crashing the price of Paid Network. This has been tons of things going around online, people talking about rug pulls, possible insider hack. We don't have the information on this yet. We have no idea what has happened just yet. We are still waiting on more information. Kyle Chase, the creator of Paid Network, has issued just a little bit of a warning saying that don't interact with it, don't buy Paid Network, don't sell it, don't do anything with it, just wait. I've been through rug pulls many times before. Just sit, hold tight, there's nothing you can do. Now, I also want to address something that obviously I'm not associated with Paid Network at all. I haven't promoted them, I haven't spoken about them, but many other influencers have. And the reason I want to highlight this is I see many people calling out other influencers and other prominent names in crypto saying that it's their fault that this has happened. They knew this was a scam beforehand and they shouldn't have been promoting it. This will happen in every single industry. There's no way anyone could have known that this would have happened, right? There obviously were some warning signs. You can follow War on Rugs on Twitter, which will basically give you some update as to projects that possibly could be rug pulls or could have exploits in them that are exploitable. So I do suggest you follow them as well if you want some updates on projects that you don't have. But essentially what I'm saying is that people calling out influencers or calling out people who are promoting these projects makes no sense at all. There's no way these people could have known. If, say, a project has 10,000 holders of that token, all 10,000 people in that situation get scammed or get hacked or lose their funds, right? And now you're going to place that blame on 1 or 2 potential people who were promoting it, who were essentially being the face of the project. That doesn't make sense. You are in the same position. If you were holding that project or if you were holding those funds before they crashed, you're in just as bad of a position as the next person. So there's no reason that you should place this blame on anyone until there's more information that has come out. Obviously, we don't know exactly what has happened yet. I'm sure there will be some law enforcement that gets involved and we'll have some more updates coming out. But please, I just want you guys to have some empathy and understand that it's not necessarily these influencers' fault for promoting projects that turn out to be hacks or turn out to be scams and so on. They're doing their job. They're doing what they meant to do. You wouldn't know about many of these projects if it wasn't for influencers, if it wasn't for marketing. Marketing is such an essential part of cryptocurrency. And if there isn't any marketing, you would be lost in the dirt. You wouldn't know what is happening in the crypto space at all. So I urge you to just be aware of this and understand that it's no one person's fault at this point. Possibly the hacker, maybe it is an inside job. We don't know yet. So don't go throwing blame around without understanding exactly what is going on behind the scenes. Next up, we have SuperFarm, a group of tech art enthusiasts. Banksy made history today, burning an authentic Banksy piece and minting it into an NFT in its place. This is the first physical to digital transfer of its kind. The NFT was minted from the SuperFarm DAO NFT contract. So you guys know a lot about SuperFarm. Obviously, it's obviously been promoted a ton around the crypto space lately as well by many influencers and so on. But what is happening with this is game-changing in my opinion. NFTs are exploding. I do believe it's slightly overhyped right now. I'll talk about this in an additional video as well. But what has happened here is something that is a game-changing moment. So they've destroyed a real-world asset and transferred it to the blockchain. This would not happen in the past. There's no way this could have happened in the past because there was no way to verify that that transaction or that mint was an authentic piece. Now with the blockchain, with NFTs, we can verify that this is an authentic piece. Obviously, it's quite a meta or understanding or discussion going around how this happened or what this means for the art world, considering that this piece of artwork is known as morons. And this Banksy piece of artwork basically pokes fun at people paying exorbitant or extremely high fees or amounts of money for artwork, therefore burning this incredibly highly valued piece of art, I think it was $100,000 in its physical form, and minting it into an NFT that people will then pay even more money for. So it's quite an interesting play on the psychology here and understanding of how the art world works and the psychology of humans in general as to how we're going to be transferring or moving into this new realm of art and this new realm of digital art and digital asset ownership. There's many things that are going to be happening in the future coming up. I'm sure more things like this will happen as well. It's just a very interesting thing to see as the world is evolving into this almost fully digital realm, which personally I'm not a big fan of, but it doesn't mean that you can't make money from it. It doesn't mean that you can't use it to your advantage, buy some NFTs, trade them, sell them, and get involved with this. As I said, I will make a video on this as well, just explaining how or what my view on NFTs are and how I believe the place or the space will evolve coming up. So it's an interesting thing to look out for. I recommend that you go and look more at this. Finally, we have Orion Chain. So you guys know that I'm bullish on these Oracle projects as well. Now, Orion Chain has bottomed out on their chart. They have basically flattened, obviously due to the spike leading up to their mainnet launch. Again, a perfect example of the buy the rumor, sell the news. So people were purchasing the hell out of Orion Chain leading up to their mainnet launch and then sold it all off right afterwards. We've bottomed out right now at a $33 million market cap. I believe this is one of the most undervalued Oracle projects that they are out there right now. So Orion Chain is obviously the AI Oracle. They're working to integrate artificial intelligence with blockchain, which are two major industries that I believe could work together very well. AI, the main problem with it is that it takes a ton of computing power. So in order for you to implement that into the blockchain, which requires as little energy as possible to be efficient and be downloadable across the world, we can't implement AI on the blockchain. So therefore it has to be in an oracle outside of the blockchain and be able to get that information into the blockchain securely and trustlessly. That is what Orion Chain does. They take that information and transfer the AI info into the blockchain or processed AI information into the blockchain via an oracle, which is Orion Chain. So I believe there's tons of room to grow for this. Still an incredibly small project. They're coming up with big partnerships as well, finalizing our next partnership with a leading AI company in the blockchain field. Stay tuned. So this was posted in their Telegram. Tons of things happening for Orion Chain. I believe that we're very early for this project. Very, very, very early. Obviously just listed on Uniswap and Gate.io right now. Most of the volume is there, and Balaxy. Again, I just want to highlight this. I speak about this in my Patreon in the AMA quite regularly, but when you're looking for coins to buy, right, you go to CoinGecko, scroll down and you look at this. Please always only transact on the exchanges with the highest volume and that have some sort of history. So Balaxy, Bitum, these are smaller exchanges that most people don't use. Uniswap, even though the fees are incredibly high right now, I believe that this is where you should be transacting if you want the original token. Many of these exchanges go under without a moment's notice. They lose funds, they get hacked all the time. So just want you guys to be safe. There's money being lost all over the place right now. Scammers, hacks, tons of things happening. So it breaks my heart to see people losing money, and I don't want you guys to do that. So I just suggest you check out Orion Chain if you haven't, or check out my previous video where I explain why I'm bullish on Orion Chain and how it is just an undervalued gem right now. That's it for now. I do believe with Uniswap coming out very, very soon, Uniswap v3 will potentially come out quite soon, and EIP-1559 being implemented, we're going to see a huge reduction in gas fees and an absolute massive wave of DeFi coming back into cryptocurrency, with many people transacting on Uniswap, reduced fees, faster transactions, massive scalability. I think this is going to be an incredible year for cryptocurrency, and I'm excited for you guys to be here along for the journey. As always, I shall see you in the next video. I hope you enjoyed that. If you haven't yet, hit the subscribe button and hit the like button. Cheers.